Evening, good evening. This is November the 14th, and you are at the Lightning Room. So I hope you're where you're supposed to be because you are here now. All right, let's put this down this way. Back on our Zoomies. Hello, Joey. Putting this down, putting our chats up on. Um, Good evening, love. Putting our chats up there. I can see you now. Gonna move this a little bit over so we are able to see. Trying something new. Get our get our Facebook chats going at the same time. And see if we have a better Mr. Bingo. Hello, Mr. Bingo. Come on in. Say hello to everybody. Okay, checking. Sorry. Um, Checking our Facebook right now. A second. That. You know how much fun this always is. These days, I'm actually going to be set up by the 8 o'clock hour. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Lightning Room. We are going to continue this week, with our Conversations Beyond the Ballot series. We're going to do our usual jokes in quotes, and then we had two things on our website. Was what is your favorite president of all time? We did get about 6 or 7 responses to that. I will let you know what they are. And we did correcting this, and we did get responses to our next was, we are a week out from the election. How is everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? So that's our program agenda. Let's get started, shall we? How about some fun jokes? Of course, sticking with the presidential theme. Why did George Washington have trouble sleeping? Hello, Emma. Hello, hello. Hello, Bill. Why did George Washington have trouble sleeping? Any takers? Because he could not lie down. Get it? He could not tell a lie. Okay, they are kind of daddish jokes, aren't they? Okay, why did Abraham Lincoln never get a speeding ticket? Hello, Samantha. Good to see you this evening. Why did Abraham Lincoln never get a speeding ticket? Because he always stuck to the 4.7 miles per minute rule. That was a good one. His buddy only went 5 miles. His buggy only went, yeah, I mean, seriously, it's true. Okay, why did Teddy Roosevelt carry a big stick? Why did Teddy Roosevelt carry a big stick? Why did he do that? Hello, Brian. To beat your now play fair. Next answer, please. Why did he carry a big stick? Besides to be Joe, you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay, so his jokes could really stick with you. Okay, how about we try one more? Here's a good one for tonight's theme. What's the difference between a politician and a comedian? Come on, guys. Yeah, drum roll, seriously. What is the difference between a politician and a comedian? Bill says they're both hilarious. Okay. They are. I admit. Okay, the difference? The comedian, Bill, very close. The comedian admits they're trying to make people laugh. Jumps, I love your sound effects. The drum roll, please. Yes, yes. All right. How about some interesting quotes? Some interesting presidential quotes. George Washington said, "It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one." That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Yes. Yes, couple of yeses. Yeah. All right, how about this one from Thomas Jefferson? I like the dreams of the future better than I like the history of the past. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. I think I think absolutely facing forward. Remember the rearview mirror thing. If you're looking in the rearview mirror, you get to see what's right ahead of you. Learn from what's back there, but always face forward and look ahead. Moving forward, says Emma, absolutely. Facing forward, says Drummy. Moving forward, absolutely. Abraham Lincoln, he always has such fascinating things. Government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth. I like that. Absolutely. Remember that. I'll repeat that one. Government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth. I like that. Bill put question mark. All right. How about Franklin Delano Roosevelt? The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Think about that. That's so true, isn't it? What are we afraid of? If you don't know what you're afraid of, how do you know you're afraid of anything? I mean, technically. So the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Let's keep that in mind as with this moving forward, facing forward thing is going on. Keep that in mind. All right. John F. Kennedy, absolutely love this is one of my most favorite quotes, although he's got many that I'm fond of. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Can we do that? Right? I feel like that's like, can I get a hallelujah? I mean, seriously, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Let's get one more. Exactly, says John. Thank you. Thumbs up, says Ava. Hi, Ava. Good to see you this evening. All right. Um, let's stop on that one. That's a good one. Let's stop on that one. Great quotes. We've learned a lot. We learn a lot just by listening. We learn a lot by listening. Okay. Tonight, our first question was, was your favorite president of all time, from the first one to the 46th one? You've got a wide range. I think we put that on our website, kind of like that. So do we have some favorites? And we've got about 6 or 7 responses. From those we've heard from already. Samantha said, my favorite would be Barack Obama. His empathy, eloquence, and commitment to healthcare reform and inclusivity really resonated with me. Thank you very much, Samantha. Yes, he hit all of those qualities. Emma said, my favorite president has to be Franklin Delano Roosevelt. His leadership during the Great Depression and World War II showed incredible resilience and vision. He genuinely made people believe in a higher future. In a brighter future. I'm sorry, my bad. In a brighter future. That was great. Thank you, Ma. That's absolutely right. Bill, talking about one of our favorites we brought up tonight, President Abraham Lincoln. He held the country together at a time when it was completely fractured. His dedication to unity and equality inspires me. Absolutely. Absolutely. This country has faced so many times of indecision and not knowing which way to go in. Okay, couple more. Liam, hi Liam. Liam says I'd have to go with Ronald Reagan. His approach to restoring economic stability and his strong stance on global issues were impressive. He brought confidence back to the nation. Another one of those pivotal moments for us in time. And we've got one more from Sophia. Hello, Sophia. Sophia says, I'd go with Lyndon B. Johnson because of his work with civil rights and social reform. He took on a lot of tough issues to create change. Change is so difficult, isn't it? Change can be so very difficult. If any of you want to add anything while we are going, just keep letting me know and I will be glad to shout out what those responses are. Um, Hello, everybody. Sorry, let me check our Facebook real quick here. Okie dokie. A moment. Okay, sorry guys. All right, so our our beginning of the evening for our lightning room tonight is it has been a week. It has been a week since the polls, actually a little more than that. Um, Checking in on everybody on how everybody's feeling. Again, we had a really good response to our website. So always remember to leave your comments there if you don't want to leave them on here, or if you don't make it to Zoom. If you can't make it, let us know. Another great response we had was we had both um, on both sides, so it was really nice. We'll try to show them equally, and I'll try to balance them out best I can. If we have doubles, okay. What we did have that was interesting this week was we had um, I did this, but now I'm thinking about what I did. Maybe I should have done that. So I think we really have kind of the one side, the other side, and a little bit of the middle going, I'm not real sure. So I thought we'd start with those. Um, Jordan is a Republican. Jordan said, I initially voted Republican, but I'm worried about the lack of attention on climate control. I realize now how important that issue is to me. Thank you for sharing that, Jordan. Mark is a Democratic voter. He says, I voted Democrat, hoping for a strong stance on climate, but I'm now realizing that I should have prioritized economic policies that could bring more jobs to my own community. Thank you for that. I'm noticing that both of you mentioned climate. That's very interesting. We do share so much. So we have so much in common. Sabrina was or is a Republican. She said, I voted Republican because I thought it would be good for the economy. But I feel that social issues aren't being handled with the compassion I hoped for. Thank you for sharing that, Sabrina. And to just mention that we're still there things are still moving forward. So hopeful, facing forward, and keep going. Isabella, I'm sorry, Isabella, I voted Democrat because of health care, but I'm frustrated with some of the bureaucracy and the lack of real change. I feel like the other side might have been more practical in some ways. Thank you for sharing that as well. Thank you very much for sharing that. I don't think it is a buyer's remorse sometimes as much as it is reflective time. Voting is like, it's one of the biggest things we really get to do. So we're gonna have that same thing. We make a big purchase, we make a big decision. Oh, is that the right thing that I do? Was I focused on the right thing? Maybe I should have thought through this. Stay where you are, sort of stay focused on moving forward. One of our quotes tonight was, what can you do? Ask not what your country can do, but what can you do? So for those of you that feel like it's an in limbo kind of place now, you don't know, maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have. What can you do? It's what's past is over there now. So what do you do now? What can you do now to be part of the movement that is moving forward, or to be part of the part that is going to create something different from that movement? What will that be? Um, Ajami, I appreciate the varied perspectives being shared with neutrality and curiosity. Thank you. Thank you for creating a safe container for all of us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of that wonderful container. That means so much. So let's see how some people are feeling that aren't questioning their decisions, but are feeling pretty confident about that. So checking on Miss Emma, as a matter of fact, Miss Emma said, I'm really anxious. I'm hoping that everyone in leadership remembers to include all voices, not just one side. Absolutely. That's part of leadership, right? Being able to lead a a collective which is vast and different. So thank you for that, sharing that. Ethan says, I'm feeling really optimistic. I think we're going to see a strong team come together, and that's what we need to push our country forward. Absolutely right. We do need an absolutely strong team to push us forward, to keep everyone going forward and motivated. From Bill, hello again, Bill. Bill says, honestly, I'm worried. I don't want to see decisions that undo progress made in areas like healthcare and environmental protections. That is a grave concern. Our healthcare and environmental protections are key parts of what keep us all healthy and safe. Can understand that being a concern. Thank you for sharing that. Rachel says, honestly, I'm a bit on edge, but hopeful. I want to see more unity and less division from everyone moving forward. Gosh, could we all just say it's another one of those hallelujah moments to that? We have one thing to keep in mind, folks, is we're all in this together. Whatever happened or however, whenever we decide to say, okay, let's look at this. Look at this first. This happens every 4 years. This is something we're going to do in another 4 years. This is something that has been happening for a very long time. If you don't like it, change it. If you like it, go with it. But most of all, let's not point left and right fingers. Let's just maybe actually, here's a really good one. Let's extend our hands. Let's extend our hands. Tell me what you think, just like we're trying to do tonight. Share with each other. Well, tell me what you're thinking. Tell me how you're feeling about something. It helps all of us feel a little more cohesive. Left, right, or indifferent, we're all in this together. It's our country. There's one country, there's one United States. That's all of us together. The US, us, that's us. We are us. And tonight we're having conversations about us after this most interesting time. Okay, Liam. Liam says, good evening, Liam. Liam says, feeling uneasy. I want leaders who will focus on building bridges and looking out for the marginalized groups. Thank you for sharing that. Excellent. Megan says, I think it's great that we have leaders being put in place who are business minded. It's time we focus on getting the economy back on track. I have heard that a lot. I think a lot of us have heard a lot about the economy. And that is a twofold. Don't, fear, nothing to fear itself. And it's watching what's going on and people honestly saying, I can't do this. I don't want to do this way anymore. So it's being very respectful of that. It's respecting each other, whether you've been in a place that you feel is more comfortable or in a place that is very uncomfortable. That's how you're feeling. That someone across from you may be feeling opposite. Extend that hand. Let them know it's okay to feel opposite. It's all right to be worried. Share what will make them feel better instead of pointing out what makes them bad about the way they feel. Okay. Oliver says, I'm just concerned that there won't be enough focus on climate change. And that's a huge issue for me. Again, we hear a little bit more about climate change. Lucas, I'm just relieved to see focus on security and law enforcement. I think we need that to keep us safe. Again, we mentioned security and safety for us is so important. It means a lot. It means a lot to all of us. And what is something that we're most fearful of? Not being afraid, feeling like we're not safe. So Kevin says, I'm really frustrated. I feel like people in these positions might not prioritize things that matter to me, like education and healthcare. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing that. And if that is an issue for sure that you feel, there are places that you can make those differences on local levels with your school, volunteering at your school and your hospital. Find ways to put into the community the changes that you want to see that will make you feel more comfortable for yourself and for your family. Put those changes in place. If you don't see them, put them there. If you see them, join up. All right, Brandon. Brandon says, I'm excited. We need to prioritize American interests, and I think this administration will put our country first. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Brandon. Laura. Laura says, I'm disappointed, but trying to stay positive. I hope the new administration can work to include everyone's perspective. I think that's a great statement, Laura. That's what everybody is hoping for. Working together, moving forward together, finding common ground. Find your common ground. Um, Natalie. Natalie says, I'm optimistic, but I'm also a little nervous. I just hope we don't see too much political drama and that the focus stays on the real issues. Oh my gosh. You know how many hallelujah moments there's been tonight? Let's hope we can, all this drama and upheaval, everyone having something to say and still this fuss. It's kind of normal. It's for several weeks. It's kind of going to be normal, and we'll even flow through the holidays with it. Speaking of the holidays, so I try really hard. Um, don't let the little things in life take away from the really big picture of life. The holidays are coming, time to spend with family and friends. Um, be ready for some holiday time. Everybody, be ready for some holiday time. Be ready to enjoy yourself. All righty, let's go over to, I'm kind of trying to go back and forth. So I think I'm with Miss Sophia. Hello again, Miss Sophia. She said, I'm not feeling good about it. I just want to see real action on climate and healthcare, and I don't feel like that's going to be coming. Keep climate has come up several times. That it's not surprising, Jimmy. I think it's definitely an important issue, but it's we have heard that several times, and from both sides we've heard things about climate. So again, Sophia, take action. What group do you have in your community that deals with climate control? What do they do? What can you join? What can you be a part of? All right, Derek. Derek says, I'm really feeling reassured. I like the experience these appointments bring to the table, especially for areas like the economy and defense. Again, the economy and security becoming just really big, huge issues on everyone's mind. Julia, honestly, I'm scared. I want a government that works for everyone, not a select group. Understanding and hearing your fear, Julia. Um, Again, what can you do? How do you get involved? What program does your community have? Does your school offer? Do your hospitals offer? Where can you begin? Voting is a big thing. We just finished a big vote, but a reminder to everyone, we have votes every 2 years. We have votes even more than that in our communities. Vote, vote, and find out what's in your community for you to do. All right, we're going to see what Miss Brooke has to say. Miss Brooke says, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm hoping to see appointments that align with my conservative values and respect for traditional principles. Well said, ma'am. Absolutely very well said. Grace said, on the other hand, Grace says, it's sad to see some of these appointments. I'm just hoping they'll listen to all Americans, not just the ones who agree with them. That is important. As Americans right now, as human beings right now, that is an important thing for us to do. Listen to each other. This platform hopes to provide that for you to be able to do. Leave your comments, let us know what you're thinking. We'll try to share equally what the perspectives are. Mind you, should all the perspectives start coming in and they all be one way, well, that's all I'm going to have to share with you. But as long as they're coming in an equal way, we'll keep on trying to share them in a very equal way. Okay, let's see. What did we say? What Miss Grace had to say? Yes, just now. That's what Eli. Okay, so we did Miss Grace. Let's do Connor. Connor says, I feel good about it. I think the country needs some strong direction, and these appointments might bring that stability. Thank you very much. I like the confidence that you have. Confidence. Say it. Say it. Keep it going. Think positive. Think what you can do. Think about change. Think about moving forward. Okay, Elijah. Elijah says, I'm kind of on the edge. I feel like we're moving backward on issues like social justice and civil rights. Another common thing we've heard a couple of times is I'm afraid about the marginalized. I'm afraid about going backwards. I'm afraid about not having um, equal justice. So find out what those programs are. Find out what you need to know about that. How do you become a part of making sure that that takes place? It takes all of us. It takes all of us every single day. You know, I'll mention it again. We vote every 4 years, and it's a big deal, and it's a big deal right now. But what's important is everything that happens in between that time you vote every 4 years. Every single day in between that is probably more important than that day itself, because those are all the days you have to be doing something. Those are all the days we have to be making change. All right, Miss Nina. Miss Nina says, trying to stay hopeful, but it's hard. I want leaders who will support equality, and I'm not sure I see that right now. Kind of just absolutely where we were. Um, Same thing. Find out where you can watch that. Find out what activist group you can be a part of that helps you feel comfortable about that. Hannah says, I think appointments will bring stability. These appointments will bring stability and a focus on American values, which is something that we need at this time. Values is something we need absolutely all the time, all the time. Now, what our values are, it's going to be independent of what our beliefs are, what our belief system is. So our values are so very important. Yes, Joan says, so important. You can involve locally, regionally, and not only nationally. Absolutely. It's important to be where you are involved, where you are. Start right where you are. Open the door and start right there. All right. Liam had another, I'm sorry, this is another Liam. I'm feeling positive. I feel the focus on business and security will be good for everyone in the long run. And I like a lot of the comments have been about with business. We're dealing with business minded people. Perhaps it'll lead to more business minded economy. Good thinking, absolutely good thinking. Who knows how to run a business best, but a business individual. Thank you all for sharing. Ethan, Rachel, Tyler, Ami, Natalie, Brooke, thank you very much for sharing. Emma, Ava, Liam, Samantha, Laura, Sophia, Julia, Grace, thank you all so very much for sharing your opinions. I hope these conversations help a little bit. Next week, we're just going to dive some more into how we're feeling. This is just going to kind of keep growing. So for the next couple of weeks, we're just going to keep delving into our feelings and what we're thinking. Our new questions will be up. Excuse me, our new questions will be up on our website probably by tomorrow over the weekend. We'll have next week's question up. But again, we'll be talking about how are you feeling? Want to encourage everybody, first of all, before that, to say thank you very much for being a part of this, and to encourage you all to be out there, be a part of what's going on. Whether you're with the movement that is there and getting ready to move in its forward pattern, or you have a different idea and that's not where you wanted to go and you want to be moving someplace else, be moving, be a part of this, because this is about all of us collectively being a part of something that's happening. So it's important to participate. Any other comments? Anybody want to say anything else? Vanessa said, I wanted to focus on security and law enforcement, but I now realize that healthcare and education are just as critical. I wish I had considered those issues more in my vote. So, Vanessa, I didn't see where you had voted, or what party you had voted, but Fair enough. Again, talking about sometimes we make that decision, and because it was such a big decision, we're gonna look back on it and go, oh, did I do the right thing? Was should have I done this? Maybe I should have. That's fine. Take the time you need to do that. Ask yourself. The same with everything. Take all the time we need to just figure out, okay, where am I at now? But get there. But get there. And when you get there, don't stay there. Move, move. Become involved locally, regionally, not just national. I think one of our besties here, Ami, has said, get involved, all the way involved. Don't just be a little bit involved. You can't just complain a little bit. Remember, nothing happens if nothing is done. There is no change if you make no change. So go ahead and do those things. We are at about the end of our time. If no one has anything else to say, I would like to say good night. Thank you to everybody for being here this evening. Thank you for your opinions. What we might do next week, thinking about this, is how about offering some ideas? We have a lot. Sorry, I'm going to make this quick note. Um, we have a lot of how we feel and how everyone is feeling. Let's talk about what we can do. Tonight is about, we've been talking a lot, go for it, do something, become involved in. So maybe next week we can focus on what are some of these things we can do. Great idea. I know it is. It's always a great idea. And so we will focus next week maybe a little more on what are some of those ideas? What can we do? How can we make a difference? Thank you all for being here. It's so good to see you. Love and peace always. We'll see you next Thursday. Bye.